So yeah, again, thank you for attending today's webinar for state agency and higher education institution employers. All attendees will be muted, so if Zoom application allows you to unmute yourself, please do not do so. And we apologize in advance that we will not be able to help you with any technical issues. This will be recorded and posted on the Benefit Administrator's webpage. So for those needing closed captioning, it is available. To enable it, just click on the CC icon on the bottom of your screen and select Enable Subtitles. So please use the question feature to submit your questions throughout the webinar. This is session 3, so your questions should be related to entering and verifying special open enrollment events, managing benefit administrator access and benefits 24/7, and also managing employer contacts and benefit 24/7. Please send any question or scenarios related to employees via HCA support. And for urgent matters, please pick up the phone and contact our PEBB customer service or outreach and training representatives. So again, welcome to the PEBB Benefits 24/7 online enrollment system. I'm going to go ahead and take you through where the videos are located at. So we will be answering questions. So you can go ahead and submit those. Let me bring up the website. So this is the PEBB Benefit Administrator's website here. And in order to access the pre-recorded videos that we have provided, all you have to do is scroll to the bottom until you get to training resources. Click on that. And once you get to this page, you'll see training materials and recordings. Go ahead and click on that. And at the very top, you'll see all the Benefits 24/7 videos. Click the drop down. And here are all the sessions, session 1, 2, and currently we are providing question or answering questions for session 3. But if you have questions pertaining to the previous 2 sessions, please, you can address those as well. So you can access those pre-recorded videos here. So if you have any questions, please use the question feature to ask your questions for the panelists. I'm joined with Mr. Larry Cade and Debbie and myself. My name is Rob Blyden. Debbie, you want to go ahead and share your screen?
Well, I'm happy to do that, but I think that we probably should just open it up for questions in general first, right?
That sounds
like
great.
We've been doing the rest of them.
Okay. So hopefully everyone has had access in the Benefits 24/7 training environment. You're able to review the videos and get in there and navigate around. So if you haven't gotten the Gov delivery, there's a Gov delivery that was sent out today, pushing back the launch date to June 12th. So previously it was May 8th. Now they're pushing it back another month to work on some of the improvements to Benefits 24/7 and to allow you all more of an opportunity to get in there and get more familiarized before the launch date.
Okay, I don't see any questions. Do we want to make sure that people can hear? Can somebody at least let us know that you can hear us? Okay, great. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. All righty. Well, if there's no questions to get started, okay, I'm hoping that the majority of people have already watched the videos because I did a webinar earlier this morning and we are clearly running into some technical difficulties with the SOE process. So I am happy to do my best to demonstrate what you might have questions on or what you might need because like I said, I tried to demonstrate some things today and it's clear that we're running into some problems. So I wasn't really feeling comfortable going over the SOE process at this point, unless somebody, unless any of you in the audience want to ask me some specific questions. And I'm really sorry. It's just, it got pretty tangled this morning. So that's just being really honest up front and knowing that I need to do more work with the developers to find out how to answer questions. But I will try to answer what I can. Tish, I thought I was registering for a general training, didn't realize that I had to register for multiple trainings. Is that the case? Okay, so there were Gov delivery messages that went out, Tish, that explained that the training would be conducted by videos. And Rob, you did show those, right? Where those are at?
Yeah, I showed them on the BA website.
Okay. And once you watch those and you still have questions, then to go in and register for the different webinars. And I apologize because we're hearing from a lot of people that that was not clear. So that is kind of the way it's supposed to be. Watch the videos, go ahead and register for the different webinars, and we're holding them every week, once a week, and we're taking questions as they relate to the videos that are already out there. So we know that, that probably wasn't as clear as it could have been, but so go ahead, if you have questions, please ask them, but just recognize that you'll probably get really solid overview of the stuff we were hoping to give you in the training videos. This is more of a Q&A to provide clarity. So I hope that answers your question. Oh, yeah. Hi, Jean. Sure. Just here's what I'm going to say. I'm happy to walk through these, but I just ask for the same thing I'm going to ask that I asked earlier today. Please give Debbie Crumples a little bit of grace on this, okay? Because I kind of knew that we were going to have some problems with some of it. And I've tried and I demonstrated them, and I have nothing to hide from anybody except for sure. I'll tell you what I ran into, and just know that after I got off the last webinar, I've talked to my supervisor, and I'm going to be meeting with the developers to go into a little bit more detail. So Jean, before I do any of that, I have a question. Do you want me, or do you have any questions about the things that I did on the video where I went ahead and removed someone due to a death? I added a baby, like a newborn, and then I did an address change. Do you have any questions about those type of SOEs? Or does anybody in the audience have questions about those kinds and needs me to kind of review that? I guess if we know you are already looking at something, we won't need to bring it up again. Okay. Okay, well, the issues are, I will just kind of do an overview. Okay, I don't even know that I'm going to try to demonstrate it, but it seems the SOE for an employee seems to be working on a fairly basic level. Okay, so my video did, like I said, it went ahead and we could remove somebody due to a death or a divorce, and that seems to work pretty slick. If we want to add a newborn baby mid-year for a special open enrollment, that seems to make sense. And if we go in and do an address change, which results in the employee having to change their healthcare plan because their healthcare plan is no longer geographically available there where they're moving to, then that seems to be working. It's just when people try to go in to add more than one dependent due to an SOE. So example would be if there's a marriage and they're bringing a couple of stepchildren in, I don't have a good handle on that right now because I've got to work with the developers for some things I'm seeing that are not working right. Also, what were some other ones? I think that we're having a problem with when you get out to the special open enrollment verification tile. If you go in, I'm just going to show this, right? You guys can see my screen. So I'm just going to show one it's pending right here, right? So to me, as a BA, pending means I've got to look at this, and on my back to this screen here, right, I have my special open enrollment event verification tile says I only have one. So when I click on that, truly, it looks like I have three, right? Because there's two draft. That just means either you as the BA have started to enter this as a special open enrollment event, but you never went through the very last part of it to complete it and submit it for approval. So if I'm the BA and I know that I was just in the middle of it, no worries, right? I know I'm going to go back in there when I have time and I'm going to finish that. But if it's the employee who was doing it and they thought they finished it, being draft is, you can't really do much with that except for it depends on if you want to reach out to the employee and follow up with them and say, hey, did you mean to finish that? I don't really have a good understanding of what to tell you guys as BAs to do with these draft things, because it feels like to me if the employee is trying to do it and they didn't finish it, I mean, I guess you could reach out to them, but I know some of the agencies are very large, have a large number of employees. I don't know if that's going to be what you want to get into because they're going to have to go through it themselves and it's their responsibility to do it. And if they have questions, they're going to have to come back to you for that, right? So I just don't know. I want to find out the purpose in that. It feels like to me, they should only show up on this tile if they're ready for you to review. So what we ran in today, and I'm going to open this one up for Rod Stewart. And we ran into this, and I'm not going to go over this too much right at this moment, but let's say the documents that they needed for this SOE are not accurate. You know, you viewed them and you need something else. So if you click on that deny and you go down there and do while you're denying it, and you give it the date and the document type, and you answer this question, was this submitted within the 60-day timeline? And then you go ahead and submit changes. I did not know at the time, because I haven't done that, is that will remove that completely from your tile. And it will actually go out to the employees and it will close it. It's done. And if they want to get you a complete document, an accurate document, they can't just go back out to their SOE, like where the history is, right? So let me just show you. Which one did I work on this morning? I know I'm all over, so trying to show you what we did this morning. So here's one I did this morning. And I will go down to that employee special open enrollment tab, right? And so this one, here's one I tried to do just for to do that. And I went in as the BA on that SOE tile and I denied it because I said, okay, well, let's see what happens when I deny it. And I shouldn't have done that because I didn't know this was going to happen. But I denied it and then I couldn't do anything else with it. It fell off my tile for the SOE verification. Come out here to the employees, right? Here's their history of the ones they've done. It shows incomplete. So I'm thinking, oh, all right. So I can come in here as the employee, maybe. I can click on that and I can go ahead and edit that and get you the document you want. No, that's not how it works. Once you deny it, it's done, it's closed. If they need to get you another form, a correct form, they have to go back in and they have to do another special open enrollment event to get one started again. So if you're like going to be adding, a spouse and a couple of kids, that's a lot of work. So I am going to be talking, like I said, I'm talking to our supervisor and the developers on, hey, is that the intent? And it's okay if it's the intent, but I got to know how to use it so I can explain it to the BAs. And that's just kind of where we're at. That's why I didn't want to dive in too deep on it. If you want the basics, I could probably do that. I could walk people through that. I'd be happy to try. The only thing is, if something comes up, I just don't want you guys to be confused. And I feel like if I keep trying to go through it and some of the things aren't done, it is confusing. And I guess to go back to Jean, like what are we running into? So here's one, right? We're getting documents that come over. So like, let's say I'm going to remove this dependent. So this was his child. He enrolled this child when they were newly eligible. So that's why and it's an extended dependent, just so you know. So that's why they have this court order stuff here. But then for an open enrollment, we want to remove them, but it keeps bringing these documents over. So the story is hard to follow, like what's allowable and what's not allowable. So just know if you're in there and you're playing with it and you're testing it to the degree that your employees are going to be using it, I see issues. Okay. So I don't want to get into it too deeply. I guess I just want to be forthcoming when I say we're struggling with some problems. Okay. So I don't know that I want to say a whole lot more than that unless you guys have questions you're throwing out that I can try to address or tell you what we're going to be doing to try to work on that if we don't have the answer.
There are a few questions here, Deb. Let's try to get some of these knocked out. Is there any reason only one SOE can be submitted for verification at one time? I found that SOEs, especially childbirth, the employee will often be pushing up against. So this is the developers that created that. We'll send that back, but that was their plan, just to do one SOE event at a time. If we deny a SOE, does it always just close and go away or only on an SOE? So with the dependent verification, I believe that document stays in there and you can uncheck the box and it'll still be showing. But with SOEs, you should not deny it unless it's something like invalid. It's not even an SOE event. Other than that, you should keep it in pending status and contact the employee. It's about communication. Contact the employee, let them know they submitted the wrong document. something like that. But once you hit that deny, it is gone. And in order to create another SOE, you have to go back in there and create a whole new one. And again, before that BA hits submit to verify or deny, you have edit buttons on there. You have an edit button for the BA, and you have an edit button for the subscriber to go in and update documents, do whatever changes they need to do before that BA verifies or denies it. So another question. I don't think that'll work.
Just one second, Rob. I would like to provide some additional information on that. So I also see that question to say, what is the reason that you can only do one at a time? And like Rob said, right here, until I go down here and I try to add an SOE, this is mostly for the everybody else in the audience, okay, that might not know this. But when I go ahead and click on something and I try to, get it through the add the new event, there is going to come a message up that says you can only do one. And it's really clear about that. And I don't know the logic behind it or the reasoning that the developers did it that way, but it just wants you to get through and go up and for this same employee, right? If that employee wants more than one, you got to just go back and edit that, approve it or deny it or whatever you're going to do based on the documentation that was provided before you try to enter another one. And I think that this question might be problematic when you're trying to add. Today, the BAs are telling me, and I tested it a little bit, that when you are adding more than one dependent due to one SOE event, then that's where it makes it look like, oh man, you have to add one, go in and approve it, come back out and add the other one and go in and approve it. That just feels a little bit off to me. And that's why I said I'd like to also talk to the developer to see hey, seems like if one SOE, we should be able to add that, but I don't know. And I need to find out. So a little bit more information.
I know, Deb, when that's in a draft format, that means that employee created an SOE, but they did not complete every step, and at the very end hit that submit button. So that should be a red flag to contact that employee and let them know they have not completed the entire steps for the SOE. There's a wizard in there for them to complete. At the very end, it'll say you're almost done, just hit the submit button. So
that's this right here is what you're referring to, correct?
Incomplete on the employee's behalf. So
okay, so we have Michelle. I don't think that will work for employees if they could always just use the paper form to accomplish all their changes. So I'm a guess that you're saying instead of put one in, approve it, put one in. I agree. That does not seem to make rational sense for you, them, or even from my perspective as a trainer. I just have to ask the questions. Is it supposed to work a different way? Or, I just got to get those answers. But because the paper seems to not create that much of a problem, right? So I understand what you're saying there, and we just don't have the answer at this point, but we will go back to the developers and find out. I have a question related to the same issue of that denial. After I deny a dependent verification, is the employee required to start over again like the SOE example? Okay, so I did go out here and I looked at some dependent verifications that are not attached to an SOE, okay? So I did see that I have this employee right here, Donald Smith, and has a child that they're trying to add. And the reason, let's see, does it say? It's just a child that's being added to the account as a newly eligible, right? Just because it's not during special open enrollment. So if I go in there and deny that, like you've asked, right? And I'm just going to say, incomplete or something. And then I'm going to go ahead and submit changes. And I want to see this child Smith. Okay. Here I'm going to submit changes. And then I am going to go into what happens to that dependent. It looks like it came off the board. Yeah. But let me go here where I'm going to uncheck the pending request. And I'm going to go look for that subscriber. It's just easier if I do that. Okay. So child Smith right here, right? It shows denied. Right? Because that's what I just did. So it won't show up on your pending, but it will still hang out there when you unclick that. So now that I go in here and look at that right here, this one, it does work different. I can now go in and verify it if I get that document, right? I can go in and verify that. I can submit that and it's done. So I'm not going to even find that on there. So that is something I tested when I got out of the last webinar. And that's exactly how I hope it's going to work, or they can get it to work on the SOE side. So the fact that I was able to see how that worked and that there is logic written into the program to allow that, I'm hopeful, but I can't promise anything, right? All I can do is go find out. And this is for adding a dependent, correct? You wouldn't be doing a dependent verification, just as an FYI, remember, unless you're actually adding someone, right? So when you're going to remove someone, there is no dependent verification required. On an SOE, it's just verifying the SOE event, and that would be on the SOE tile. The only time during an SOE that you're going to be doing, you're always going to do an SOE verification, right? So that'll be out here. You'll always be doing these. And the only time that you have to pop back over to the dependent verification is if they are adding somebody, right? That way you got to do both. Okay, Melody, we do have employees who have multiple life events in short sequence. So hopefully that can be adjusted, especially since deadlines may overlap. We don't want employees waiting for agency staff to approve one SOE and miss the deadline to submit a valid second one within their 60 days. Yes, I absolutely agree with you on that. So we will find out what we can do to mitigate that.
Yeah,
and I
those are
have
good
a whole
questions,
list of good questions that relate to this SOE stuff, just so you know. And as you're testing it, and getting in there and playing with it, I would just like to say thank you, because you're going to run into some things, and we still have another webinar next week that we are going to answer questions as they relate to next week's topics, but we still allow questions for everything behind that that's already been posted. So between now and then, there may be answers, but we are sending this back up, and we're going to be working with them. And here's what I'd probably like to propose, and I did talk to my supervisor about this, is that this will end up most likely being another training video that will go in deeper on these multiples and things like that, or denying, or you didn't get the right document. We will probably most likely have to do another video and provide that clarity. So that's going to be something we're going to be working on too.
These are all good questions, and we're still out, a month and a week or so. So hopefully we bring these back to developers and they can improve the system even better to work for you.
So before I move on to the other two topics, does anybody have anything when it comes to these special open enrollments for anything that's like a little bit more basic, right? Like just adding somebody, just removing somebody, like for death or divorce, or that address change? Will this system have the same issues with open enrollment changes that are input prior to an SOE, such as a birth that occurs with the OE change is pending? Can you add it to your list of issues? We really cannot even begin to talk about the open enrollment. We haven't gotten that far into the system. We do know we've seen some things for open enrollment, and when somebody goes in because they're, let's say you have somebody who's newly eligible and they haven't made their elections yet, and it's during that open enrollment period, right? And there's an overlap. Well, then when open enrollment rolls around where they can make plan changes, there will be two wizards. There will be your newly eligible wizard, and then there's going to be your open enrollment wizard. It's not going to allow an employee to pop into the open enrollment wizard until they've completed their newly eligible wizard. So it is a little more sophisticated that way. We haven't been trained on it, and we haven't been doing any testing in it either. So, but I did see that functionality will be there, and it looks like it's going to be pretty nice.
I would recommend, if you have an SOE, like you're adding a birth, you should submit it as an SOE and not an open enrollment event, because those benefits will not take effect till January 1st of the following year. So for that birth, you want that to take effect immediately.
Right. Okay, so I'm not going to address any more of the SOE stuff unless people have questions on that. So I will go out to the manage access tile. Oh, just a second, sorry. Okay, so the manage access, just so you know, today, working in the training environment, you had to reach out to us and we had to get you in here if you weren't already in it. Some of our people rolled over from Pay One that we knew should have access, and then we've just kind of been adding people as we can. But when the system goes live, many of you are already aware that to get, there's certain different kinds of levels, right? So I'm going to click on this manage access tile, and I'm sure most of you have been in here. So there's 3 types of users defined in the Benefits 24/7 application. So admin And these are going to be the highest level in your organization, given the most access, right? So they're going to be able to do everything that anybody who has read or edit rights, plus they're going to be able to assign other staff in your organization as a BA who have read or edit rights. So to become an admin, that has to come from somebody in your organization who has the authority to give you the greatest access. So that's going to happen through HCA. So whoever, like, it's mostly going to be like probably an HR person or a supervisor who says, you are going to be a BA in the system with admin access. And there is an approval process for that. Once we get you in the system as an admin, if you've been designated as an admin, then like see in this example here, Sherry Aguilar, she's an admin. And remember, this is all a training environment, right? We gave everybody admin for the most part. So this employee then, based on her agency's level of authority given to her, can come in here and assign the people she needs to have edit or read-only access. So she can add those. But remember, you cannot ever give anybody admin because only HCA can do that. Okay, so let's see. And here's the differences, right? Admin has it all. They're the highest one up here. They have everything down here. Edit has this, and then read has only this. So they have the highest. So as you can see, many people can be added to an employer for BA access. And there, it's my understanding there is no limit to how many you can have. So we do have some large agencies that need a whole bunch of people in these. So that's fine. And how it works is, let's say I want to add one because I have a new employee, right? Who's going to have this access. And she's not going to have admin, but I want to give them some rights. So I'm just going to say tester, BA, maybe, or benefits, right? I'm just going to create this name and I'm going to give it an email. Also not true, not real. Okay, and then when I drop down here with this right arrow here, it has three options. I'm trying right now, just so you know, I'm trying to click on this admin. It's not going to let me. Again, that's because only HCA people can give somebody admin access. But let's say I'm that Sherry, I have admin rights. I can give edit rights to this person. I can give read-only rights to this person. It's asking here, I'll pull this up a little bit, the access start date. So what day did I give her or him these rights? I'm going to say today, and then I'm just going to save that. So then what it does is like, oh, where'd it go? Well, it gets in some kind of alphabetical order, it looks like. Maybe not. All right, yeah, S should be. I'm not sure how it does it, but it drops it up here. And for whatever reason, it doesn't stay down here. So just don't be alarmed if it looks like it went away. Look up here, it's right here. So that's fine. If I want today to go into make this person edit, I can do that too. And I can, if I needed to change the date, if it was a later date, I could do that. Just save it. So that's how I could do it. An admin person can do that, but a person with edit can't do any of that. They can't give these users any other roles. Only these admin people can. So that's the other thing. So over here, let's say that we have somebody. Let's go to this person. Let's say, oh, no, we don't want to give that person. So how do you stop their access? Well, here's their end date, right? So you just go up here and you say, I'm going to choose today. Today's the end date. I'm going to remove their access with edit. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And so they fall off of here, right, as the active users. Down here under inactive users, they're going to be right here, right? It's going to show that they lost their access on this date. Well, let's say that person comes back. They went to another department for a while, or they're coming back or whatever. Their role has changed and you want to reactivate them. You don't have to add them again. All you have to do is go here to the access end date, remove it, remove all of it. Okay. And then once you do that, you can hit save and it realizes it doesn't have an end date. So put them back up here as an active user with those same rights. And if you need to change this again to read only, that would be fine too. Now, let's say we're going to go ahead and take this out of here because we don't want it in here. We're going to change their date, take them out of there in that date. We're going to save that. Going to go down here And I'm just going to say, I don't really want that in there anymore. So I'm just going to remove this user so it goes away. Okay, that's how you do that. Now, people are going to say, what is this release account thing? Well, because today we're doing, well, I guess we have, we have higher ed supposedly too in today's webinar. So we're offering it. It could be anybody in today's webinar actually, but we offer this to state agencies and higher ed institutions. That this release account is if you have to access benefits 24/7 through that top button on the login page and you get to your SAW account. So most state agencies don't do that. They're using that bottom button and they're going through WATEC, which already sees their name and work email. And once you click that, you pick your account, it just plops you right into the system. This here is for every other person that's trying to get in through SAW and they forgot their credentials or they didn't answer their security questions correctly. And the only way to let them get back in is they would come to you as the admin person, and you would go into your access page and you would just go ahead and click on that to release their account. So when they get back out to that SAW page, they can get those security questions reset up and get back into the system. The other thing is, this is a kind of a tool for us, is that all these people supposedly, and I mean, hopefully this is a true statement, but this release account tells us somebody has gone into their account and they're using this under this employer, they're using, which is Department of Ecology, they're using the system. They're in there. It doesn't tell us what they've done, but I know that they've already gone in and accessed their account. And that's how we know, because it won't give you a release if they've never even been in there. So that's just another thing for you to be aware of.
Hey,
So,
Deb,
and yeah.
I just
Rob?
want to throw out that as a BA, you should have two accounts, two SAW accounts. So you got your personal benefits 24/7 and your admin. So you should have two separate SAW accounts, one with your work email giving you access to your admin account, and then one with your personal email address giving you access to your personal benefits 24/7 account. And it's very important that when you type in that email address that it's identical. If you put a period in there and the BA that you're trying to add doesn't have that period in their email address, it won't let them in. So it's very important that you type that email in exactly the way it should be, preferably all lowercase as well.
Okay. Okay. So I think I've covered everything on that. Let's see if I have anything about this. Okay, it says, will any reports be locked behind the levels? Like, will edit users have more reports than read only, or admin users more reports than edit users? My understanding is that access to reports, see right here, everybody has access to reports. So it's the lowest level, read only. So if anything that you have, you're going to have access to reports. So that's hopefully that answers your question.
That was a
Jean,
good question, Deb. I never even thought about that till you showed that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if we learn over time, right, that the admins have any more rights than anybody else, we've asked that, but this is what I'm learning, right, that this is the hierarchy. And so far, nothing. But if nothing besides this, if we find something else out, for sure, we will let people know that.
Hey, Deb, I
Jean,
got a question.
uh-huh.
For someone to have admin rights, besides HCA support, is there a form that they could submit?
Right
I know on the
now,
SEP side, we have a form that they have to submit.
yeah. Okay, so right now, I've asked that question because everybody out here who's been setting up, if you're any of those people that are responsible for sending us the information for who you want in the live environment, there is something that they can use through the HCA support portal. I have asked if that is going to continue once the system goes live, or is there going to be paper forms? And I have not received an answer on that yet. So right now, everybody, Rob, just so you know, is going through the HCA support portal, and we have a specific thing there that gives people benefits 24/7 admin access for the live environment. And I don't know. I have to think that, wow, I hope it's going to be used still, but I don't know. I can't confirm that. As far as paper, I think Larry with experience in Pay One said that used to be some kind of paper authorization forms, but I have not heard anything about that we're going to be going to paper. Okay. Jean, Larry, are you signed into the HCA support as an HCA admin right now?
I don't think so.
Can you do that? Because I am not signed in at the HCA admin level, and Jean Hardcastle saying she's listed as an admin and it's not letting her add someone. So
Just give me a second.
Jean, what we need, Larry, are you going to go look for her as like the search for the main, or you want to get her like the code she uses, which one she's talking about?
What agency is she under?
DOC, and that's got a lot.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know how many you're signed into, Jean. So here's the thing. Remember when I did an overview up here, you can see my screen, like see all the ones I have. Are you signed up for a whole bunch of these or just one? The issue appears to be with the email address. However, it's accurate. I am logged in under Southwest Region Section 3. So when you get to DOC Southwest Region 3, maybe we can look at her email and we can see why you should have admin, and it should be working in your functionality here to be able to give somebody that. So I'll have Larry kind of look.
Is that section 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So what email, Jean? You're able to get into it, right? You just can't assign. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got johardcastle@doc.wa.gov.
Is that correct, Jean? Did she hear that? The issue is not with me, it's on our side, huh? Larry, for 1 second, can you just go ahead and share your screen because I want her to take a look at it?
Well, Janice says that it's she was told that you can't do it in the test environment.
Oh,
Janice, who told you that under admin access you can't add other VAs?
yeah, a couple people. When I access the security designation, give me the option to add admin, edit, and read.
Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Larry. So you're in corrections, Southwest Region 3. So Jean, that's a good email for you, correct? Yes, she's saying yes. And it says she has admin rights. So I don't know what's happening, like why she's not able. But you're right. Other people, yeah, she can't add anybody. She can't add anybody as an edit. See that? Okay. Well, we're gonna have to report that, Jean. I had no idea. This is the first I've heard of that. Because you should be able to add a system user just like we showed you. So yeah, and it looks like you're not the only one. It looks like we're getting some other people saying that that's been an issue. So
remember we had a situation where the email address wouldn't let me add somebody, had to go to a different route.
Yeah. So, we have time, I think. So if you want to go up, Larry, to the copy her. Well, just go up here. Go up to the very top.
Mm-hmm.
No, not there. Go to the very top, right there. Okay, back to the admin dashboard at the very top. There you go. And then under the Manage Access tab, type in her last name in that search. I know that this is not your side of the house, you guys, just so you know. This is the HCA admin side, and we want to look. You will not be doing this. And I'm just asking Larry to do this so that I can find out. Like, we're going to work with Jean to see if there's an issue that might be impacting everybody else too.
Someone said they tested it, Deb, and they were able to add someone.
They were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Larry, if it doesn't work, could you go back to her agency and put all the email in lowercase?
Okay, so just a minute. So Jean's only working in Southwest Region Section 3, it looks like. She's only been assigned to that. And that's her email. So this is interesting that you say that, Rob, because when I went in and took the capitals off, it seemed to work. So maybe, Larry, maybe you can go in there and say like doc1.wa.gov, but lowercase.
I see a lot of people saying it works for them. So I'm thinking that's the issue. I thought that was resolved when I talked to Jeff G about that, the case sensitivity, but apparently it's not. We need to bring that up to the developers.
Okay, so try and save that, Larry. Okay, Jean, you're somebody we're going to have to work on because we have to do some other testing stuff in here to find this, and it's going to take us a while to figure this out. But I would like to look at that, and when we get done with this, we will get back to you personally. Okay.
Hey, Deb.
Yeah.
Hey, Jean, if you when you get time, when you log into SAW, look at your saw count, and if that's also capital letters, drop that down to all lowercase like Larry just did, and then try that again.
She doesn't use saw, she's state.
Well, let's see if it works with the all lowercase then.
It won't take it. He tried. That's what I'm saying. I'm not want to spend any more
Go-
time on
okay.
this. I feel like
don't
this
take
is,
it. I'll mess with it while you guys are doing
Yeah.
something.
All right.
thanks, Lair. Yeah, and we will work on that. It should be working. We do see some other people saying they've been able to get in and make some of those changes. So I think we just got to find out. Okay, so when access benefits 24/7 in the HCA support site, the security designation, it also gave me the option to add admin, edit, and read only. Is that benefits 24/7 security designation site different from the managed access you just showed us? No, that's the same. All that's letting you do in that HCA support portal area is if you want us to set all your people up. So if you send in, like, I want this person, this person, this person to be admin, then when we set them up as admin in the live environment, then they will be able to do this, right? They should be able to add all of your users, add an edit or read only. But if you want us to add them as an edit or read only, and you don't want to deal with that when we go live and you want us to do it all, we'll do that too, right? That's why it looks like that. No different. It just means we're going to do all the work to add them, or you're going to do all the work to add them. Either way. Okay. Okay. I have not been able to get into the login at all. I have sent 2 requests through the HCA portal. Kelsey, well, okay. Let me ask you a question on that. Are you using the, when you go in there to a regular HCA support ticket and you put in a benefits administrator inquiry, are you picking up on the benefits 24/7 online enrollment system as the inquiry type? Because those get to us like immediately. And I know I'm clearing them out of my inbox as quickly as I can. And I only have 2 hanging out there right now. And I don't think that it's your name on them. Just a minute. No, not this one. It's not you. Not you. I apologize. I put the red. None of them are yours. So, we can go in and look at that, but I don't know why we wouldn't have been responding to them. I have been able to access it. I shared my Zoom link with my coworker and they're the one having issues with it. Oh, Shannon. Okay. Okay. So is it Shannon that needs help? Okay. Maybe, Larry, when you're done with that one, we can come back to her and see if you can help do that one behind the scenes. That would be great. Okay. Thank you for that. I tried it a few ways. More than happy to work with you 2 later offline. Thanks, Jean. Appreciate that. And we will work on Shannon. We're Ellen, Shannon, and Kelsey. Okay, great. That's good to know. I will leave those up there. Okay, so let me see. I'll go back to sharing my screen now. Oh, well, I guess you don't want to see that. You probably want to see this. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see it. Rob, Larry, can you guys see my screen for?
Yeah, I can see it, Deb.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay. All righty. So any more questions on this? Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to go back out here. And the next one we did for this week was the adding contacts, right, to your organization's profile. So I'm going to go into, like, for Department of Ecology, I'm going to go ahead and click on this org profile. And the first thing that's kind of alarming to people is like, hey, I can't change anything. That's true. You can't. And this one has a physical address in it only because I was trying to add some contacts and do some stuff. But let me pull up somebody else. Let's pull up Pierce County. So you're going to see Pierce County is like, they don't have any address. And probably 99.99% of you, when you pull up your agency, it's not going to have the address in it, right? So it's going to create some problems right now, maybe if you're not paying attention to that in trying to get your contacts added. So what I did for functionality purposes, just remember, this is a training environment. They didn't drop all that stuff in here for the training environment. Unfortunately, probably because at the time they weren't aware that it would create some issues when you're trying to add a contact. So I'm going to go back here just to show you how it's supposed to work. Okay. So here's Department of Ecology. Again, it's just telling you the org type, all this stuff, right? None of it's editable. None of it. All grayed out. And I went on the HCA side and I put myself an address in here so that I could get this thing to work right, so that when you guys are doing it in the live environment, you will be able to tell that like how it should work. So what I said is, before I clicked on here, this organization, right, has the same mailing, shipping, and billing address if for all of these things. So it's going to be all as the same physical address. I didn't want to give it all these different ones, but if you have a different billing address that's not the same as your physical address, this is where you could say, okay, here it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and save that down here. This is how you submit your changes for it. So it just gives you the opportunity to tell us, do you have a different mailing, shipping, or billing address than up here, right? Okay, so that's one. But the reason that matters is because when you start to add a contact, so the contacts are different than your BA, than your benefits administrators that are out there on the access to the system tab, right? So this is where I'm just going to go ahead and add one. So just see here, new contact. So the only way to get the information in there is just click on that. And it's going to allow you to put some people's name in here, whatever. So we're just going to put myself, and I'm going to do my last name, and then I will just do, sure, I'll do this one. And no, I don't like that number. Put some other numbers in there. Okay, so here's where I think that you guys might be running into problems if you're playing with this, right? You're going to say my address is the same as my organization's physical address. Most of you don't have a physical address. That's why it's erroring out on you. So if I say that, then it's fine. It's going to populate it for me. But if I say it's not, then I have to put in, because it's not the same, right? So I need to say like 15 Turner Avenue or whatever I'm going to give it. I have to tell it something different. It's looking for that. And it will error out because it's going to, you're not telling it it's the same. So I'm just going to add that. So that way it thinks now that this contact, this is their mailing address, okay? So here, what kind of contact are they? So here are the options. And the superintendent gets a little bit confusing for our PEB employers, because that really, this system is going to work for our schools too, right? So superintendents really work in the schools. So unless your agency has a superintendent, which, you know, we know at the prisons there are superintendents. So, okay, they probably don't want all the benefits information though. Okay, so maybe this person is a benefit specialist. Maybe they're also the person who is LTD related, and they also do payroll. So really, this just tells us, like, if we have anything that we need to be working on with your organization that's related to the benefits or LTD or payroll, this is how we contact that person, right? So, and then you can just, it can be more than one, and you can submit that change. Now you can see that it has me listed, and here are the roles that I play. Now, if I say, oh, well, wait a second, Debbie no longer does payroll, right? So we're going to take her off of the payroll function, and we're going to go ahead and submit that. So it removed that. If I want to go in here and I just want to say Debbie doesn't really work here, there's a couple of ways to do this. It's my understanding you could come in here and same position, right? It's a sorry, not this. It's the same position. Yeah.
They could just hit the remove contact on the bottom right and then start over to add the new contact.
Well, this is what I wanted to find out though, is if they could go in here and just leave somebody, like say Debbie Crumples got replaced, and they're going to go ahead and change the address, right, to Ann Davis, and leave it like that, and everything else. Maybe it's the same desk phone number. All this stays the same. And then they just want to submit changes, right? Because the same role. Oh.
Yeah, okay. No, we experienced that on the SEB side under the managed access, where instead of just removing the BA access, they would just type over it like you did, and that new BA could not get in. So that's why I just recommend removing the contact and adding a new contact.
Okay, so what I did wrong on this one, Rob, was I put a space on the name for the email. So here's what, I didn't even know it had that function, Rob. And then I worked with somebody else, and they showed me that if you wanted, you could just go in and update that current person, right? Because they're in the position with this responsibility. You could just change the name and email and just verify that all this is done, and then just submit it. Or like Rob said, maybe Ann Davis has gone away or she's not doing this anymore, you might just want to do this and remove the contact down here, right? You can remove it this way and then they go away. So there's a way to add them. There's a way to take that functionality and assign it to somebody else, and then you can remove it and start all over again. So you have some options.
And I recommend that this be filled out for every agency out there, because this is our only means to pick up the phone and contact you if there's issues with any of your employees. Other than that, all we have is your email address and the manage access tile. So we would like that phone number. If there are any employees contacting us, we can pick up the phone and contact whoever is in charge. Even the vendor, if you have LTD, the standard can contact the person that's under your contact type here. So it's important that this is updated.
Also, if there's anything on this page, I know we're not really covering this, but because it attaches to the contacts, right? All this address information. If any of this changes, which then impacts your contact person's address, right? Because it's reading it from here. You can't change it, the physical address for your organization. The only way to do that is to go ahead and submit that information through an HCA support ticket, and then HCA will take care of that for you. So we've had those questions as well. I think today, it would be nice, if possible, if HCA could send out spreadsheets that we can fill out and have it uploaded. We'll share that, Jean. I would imagine that there's a lot of contacts when you're, especially when we're looking at the larger organizations.
Hey, Deb,
Yeah.
I added Jean and I added Shannon, and I let them know.
Oh, good. Okay. Out of curiosity, Jean, does it work for you now? I'm gonna see if Jean's gonna test it. She'll let us know. Kelsey, so she says, this is Shannon. I click on the login here and adding employee for admin, as an admin. Yeah, as far as a BA access, let us know, Jean, if that works. So sorry, Kelsey. So she's saying, this is Shannon. I click on login here and it circles, then stays on the sign in page. It doesn't move forward. Login, like from the main login page, Shannon? And are you using the bottom purple button to sign in from the login page? This is Shannon, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of this really fast. I'm gonna try to see what I can show. Do you see Jean's message, Larry? She's no longer listed as an admin. She's completely lost the ability to add anyone. So we need to get her back in there as admin.
I did.
Well, look what she said. She's lost all of it. And Haley saying, I have the same problem. Haley, which one is your problem? Is it the spinning? You can't get in, or you lost access? Okay, so back to Shannon. Shannon, you're from LNI, I believe. You're a state agency, so you got to log in using this one, right? So is it bringing you to anything like this? And I know this is hard. You guys can't be interactive with us quickly, but is it bringing you where it has your name?
It's all gone now. It was just there. It was just
I don't
there.
want to laugh. I do not want to laugh. That just,
I
we're
swear
not
it was
laughing
just
that
there.
people are having issues. Sometimes we just have to have humor on this side to just keep making it through.
Well,
Now
thank
it
God
says I'm
this
not
is only the
authorized.
training environment, huh?
Right. We just have
Oh
to
my.
stay. Okay. So now it says I'm not authorized to use it at all. Something has happened, Lair, that these people, like Kelsey's, she's not even able to get in. Like, all right, let me try something. Okay. So who are you working on, Larry?
Jeans.
Okay. And Shannon, is your last name Pitts? I want to see something. This is our side of the house, which, we don't want to demonstrate that because that's not going to help you guys at all, but we have to, seeing how we have time and we're not showing you everything else that we wanted to be able to show you, we can try to troubleshoot some of this. On the day in the life of a benefits 24/7 trainer, we run into problems too, trust me. Okay, so Shannon, it looks like you're at Department of Illinois. Shannon, is that your email? Pitts235@lni.wa.gov. Oh, you're in now. You said you're in. Okay, good, great. Yep, and that release account makes it look like you did get in, but a stale state. That just tells me you got in, but I can't release your account anyway. Okay, Shannon's in. Did you get Jean taken care of?
Well, I
Haley.
mean, it was in there.
But is it now?
Let's see here.
Houdini. Okay, Haley. I don't know where you work. Let's
That's
see. I'll look
weird.
up. Yeah,
So
I'm gonna look
weird.
her up. Yeah, it is a little bit weird at times. DSHS. Okay, let's see what pulls up for you. Hope I got your name spelled right. It takes a minute. So if it looks like it's not doing anything, I guess it must be thinking it's going through a whole bunch of people to find you. So just give it a second. Oh, okay. Oh, Haley, were you in your DSHS? Well, let's go up here. We'll show you how we do stuff here. Try to anyway. So it doesn't really matter for us today where we put you. We could put you with corrections if we wanted. Functionality is going to work the same because everybody's fake in here too. So it doesn't really matter if it got the wrong agency or whatever, right? So just know that. So send me your email, Haley, in a chat, please. Because I didn't find you before. If you send me that, I can maybe try and add you. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me see if that works. And you are Haley dot C HABER DSHS.wa.gov. Add you as an admin. I'm going to do that for today. I'm going to save you. Try it now. Use the bottom purple button. Okay, you should be good to go. Okay, Haley, Jean, we're still working on you. Christina, mine does the same, circling and then back to the login page, but I haven't submitted a support ticket yet. Can you fix mine also? Okay, so let me go look for you. No worries. Let's see where we might already have you, Christina.
Haley says she's in now.
Yep, good. Good deal.
Larry, did you get Jean in?
You guys keep asking me the same question. The answer's all the same. No. I'm trying.
Here, I was going to say the better question is, are you working on it?
Well, I am, but it won't let me do it. It's weird. It was in there. I swear to you, it was in there. All lowercase.
Let me know
and
when you're
everything.
done. Maybe I'll try.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm done.
Okay, I'm trying to search for this Neely first, Christina Neely, and yeah, it just takes a second. And Christina, you might not be in there, Christina. So what agency are you? LNI. Okay, so what I'm going to go is come back out here, find one for you. And can you send me your email, okay?
235.
235. Can you send me your email? Okay, so we're going to do this. I don't see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add you as a user. And we will do this, right? Christina.
And we want to get in the habit of entering everything lowercase. I noticed there's some uppercase up there with Sam.
They probably can't even get in.
Yeah.
Okay, just a second. I'm going to give her admin. Make that today. Go ahead and save that. Christina, try it now, okay? Just use the bottom purple button to try to get in. No, I can get in just fine, Samuel. Good. Who else is hanging out here? I haven't been.
Jean.
Yeah, Jean Hardcastle. I want to get back to hers. That's kind of weird.
I messed it up. It looks kind of mad, like you're crazy and inactive.
Okay, just a minute. I just want to. She has a unique last name, so that should be able to find her pretty quick.
If you do corrections, it'll get there.
Oh, just type in corrections. But I want to see where she's at instead of just, sometimes it'll show up like, oh, you already did?
We did. You did it before.
And it all only showed the one.
Correct.
Why? I'm going to let it go just a second. I'm going to let it think. Christina, what I would do is go up to the far right-hand corner, right up here, see right here, where it says sign out. And I would sign out and then go back in and try again. Sometimes it's weird. That's all I can say, but it works if you try again. Are you telling me to get into corrections here?
Yes,
Is this what you're telling me, Larry?
I am. You're
And she
frozen.
was, I don't think it's frozen. You know, it takes forever. And here's what I want to see something. I want to go into where she's at. I want to go into corrections. And I know she's Southwest region. Oh, yeah, she's gone.
And it was there. It was there. I swear to you, it was there.
I know it was there. I don't know what happened. That's weird. So we're going to try this again. And it's J-O, Jean, I'm sorry. Do you know what it is? Somebody can tell me what it is.
J.O. Hardcastle at doc.wa.gov.
DOC1, right? DOC1?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so we'll give her admin today. And we're going to save it. Ooh. Okay, so here's the problem. She's already in the system, and that's what I got to find.
Let's say I tried to delete it. So is she with another agency?
Potentially, because DOC has a whole bunch of agencies out here. We just got to wait and let it find her. Not grow impatient. Okay, so Christina, did that help going out, signing out, and then trying to go back in? Michelle Childers, does somebody want to take her and see if we can help her?
Yep, I gotta look at it.
Okay. Okay, so Jean, is that your, that's right, Jean? Let me look at something. DOC.1. I just want to make sure it's in there right. And we're saying like we should take that out of there. Like, I don't say that. I say let's try to see what she's got for access. We had her in Southwest region. Boy, we removed you like crazy, I guess. So let's try this again. We're going to add her. This is not for you guys to see all the stuff that comes on behind the scenes. So we're going to okay, I'm going to go ahead and add her back to Department of Corrections, Southwest Region 3 as an admin, and we'll go ahead and save that and see how that works. Now try it, Jean, see if it'll work for you. Okay, and you're doing Michelle Childers, Lair?
Yeah, 1 second, it's almost done.
Christina, mine did work, not when I clicked on my email, but when I tried it as use different account. Okay, so it's working. I'm saying, okay, Jean, let's try and see if your functionality works though, Jean. That'll probably be the more important part.
Back.
Yeah, but it's back her. She's able to get into it, but I don't think she's tested yet if she can assign somebody admin. Okay. Christina Neely's can go away. Okay, she said mine did work. Not when I clicked on my email, but when I tried it as use different account. Huh. That's weird.
What'd she say she did?
Christina said, because she stayed, she said she went in through the bottom one where it takes you out to that WATEC where you're supposed to pick your email and your name. She's saying when I clicked, not when she clicked on her email though, but it was when she used a different account. The only question I guess I have on that is that email that showed up on that screen that you tried to choose the first time. Is it the email you just gave us to sign you up, or is it a different email? That's the only thing I can think. So Beverly brings me to a Microsoft password for that username. It says my password is incorrect. So I'm way back at the place of finally having created a new SAW. Okay, so Beverly Havens, are you higher ed or are you state agency? Higher ed. Okay, yeah. So you are going to the new SAW account associated with my personal email. But I don't have to.
Maybe it says she's in test environment, maybe.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, so here's the thing. Beverly, on that SAW, that is a test SAW environment, okay? So when you're in there, if you're trying to use your personal email, you can't do that. The one that's attached to your personal email, okay? So you're going to be going up there to that little green button that says sign up, and you need to sign up for a SAW account with your work email. Now, if you already have a SAW account with a work email, just remember that's in the real live SAW stuff. This is a test SAW environment. You're not in it. You got to create it with your work email. And then once you do that and you give it all that and you validate yourself, you try to log in again, it should let you in. Okay, so let's see. Rob, are you going through any of these and trying to close the ones out that we got done?
I am not.
Okay, well, let me do that because there's so many. I need to get them. Okay. So Christina Neely, same email, but I'm not sure if it was all lowercase or not. It's working all right now, though. Okay, that's the ding ding, right?
Hey,
I'm
Deb?
happy that it's working. Yep.
Should
I'm hearing
we ask if those, because all we're doing is troubleshooting, if there's any more questions, and let
Sure,
those that
please
want to
do.
sign off?
Oh, that's
So
totally fine.
if you have any other questions about the sessions today, the different questions like special open enrollments, managing access, and then adding a contact type, please type those in. Other than that, that is all we have to share for this session here. Please take a look at all the videos that we have on the PA website. And again, the new date is June 12th, when is the launch date. So they've extended out a little more than a month. So we have more time to fix all these issues and give you all more time to navigate around and get more familiarized with benefits 24/7.
Okay, so Michelle, we're going to get rid of this one because it looks like she got in. I'm just giggling so hard over here when Rob's talking because you said makes you answer your phone. I'm like, wow, that's brand new functionality. So I needed that little laugh today. Okay, so Jean's saying, even if I choose edit level, it gives them admin? Okay, I'm on the HCA side, so that's not going to help me. I guess I got to get out of here. And that's weird. Even if I choose edit, it gives them admin. Dang it. Don't know what that means. I mean, it's like you're in here signed in.
She said disregard too.
Okay, cool. Oh, I see. Perfect. See, that's perfect. Okay, great. That's good answer. Those are all good answers, Jeans. That's helpful for us because that is what happens. They kind of flop all over the place once you assign them. Okay. Okay, so Kelsey, this is Kelsey for real this time. Okay, it does the same thing for me as Christina. The first screen it works when I click on my email, then the second screen it asks me to log in. Do I have to click use other account to get, no. Okay, if you try to, so the first one, when you say it brings you to the screen where it clicks on your email, I know what's happening. You guys, for whatever reason, aren't attached to, okay, let me do this. I'm going to go back for you guys. I'm going to go because I'm a state agency if I'm working for HCA, right? I'm mostly going up here because I'm trying to do it from the majority of BAs. Okay, so this is what comes up for me when I try to go in through that bottom one, right? It has my email and my name. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So if I click on this, it takes me in. It should take me right in. And if it doesn't, the only thing I can say is for some reason, I would just say, please try it again, just to make sure. And if you're still struggling with that, then that tells us that you're not attached to WATAC, which is how state emails are developed, right? We run our stuff for security purposes through WATAC. There are some state agencies that don't use it, and we haven't really talked about that. So here's the deal. Just use this one. That means you're also going to have a SAW account attached to your work email. So it's not going to be in there in the test environment because you have to sign up for it, right? So that's where you're going to go in here and sign up because see up here, it says test. That's a plain station. You're not in there. Got to sign up, use your work email, validate yourself, get out, come back in, use these credentials, and then you're going to need to be using the top button to log into the system. Let us know if that doesn't work for you. Tish, for higher ed faculty, what date would we use as date of eligibility if they returned within 12 months? For example, faculty was in benefits June, lost them summer quarter, then fall began September 20th. They're eligible 9/20, but it would be effective 9/1. Would the reason for eligibility change the date?
9/20.
Yeah, and Tish, we have not, I don't think we've, or maybe we just rolled them out. Just a second, I want to see something.
Yeah, so 9/20 and the effective date would be 9/1. Got 31 days from 9/20 to make an
Yeah,
election.
and here's what I wanted to look at really fast though, is I wanted to come out here because I wanted to let that person know that, where's our training materials? Okay, so for our videos that are just being released, so what's coming out next week?
You're welcome, Jane. We'll see you
Oh.
next time.
Okay, so the next time, next like session 4, we will be covering like people who like lose eligibility and then come back, how that all works. Okay. So just know that like Larry answered your eligibility, things like that. But people who lose eligibility and then regain it, doing to be seasonal or their faculty or whatever, it isn't, I will say this, I'm going to use this word. It's a bit of an interesting process. So, but it's going to be clear once we train you how to do it, and it'll work. It should work great. So just kind of stay tuned for that video. It's actually kind of cool. So, okay, we got this one out of the way. What about the WATEC login? Not saw. Kelsey, are you good? I can't tell what that means. Tish, it does. I just tested it. I was clarifying. Yes, I'm good. Great, good. And Jean's like, can you review the email address for Sarah Emmerich? It will not allow me to add her still. Sarah Emmerich. I thought I saw Sarah in here, and I actually,
Bailey. It was Bailey.
huh?
It was Bailey under her organization. There was only 2 people.
Oh, but I think I got a help desk ticket or a SAW ticket. Oh, yes, I can get in here. I am authorized to use this. You're wrong. Okay, so manage access, and I know Sarah because I think I did it. Let's give it a second.
So is Tish good now, Deb?
It looks like it. She said it does. I
Okay.
just tested it. She has a smile face. I'm taking that as a win.
All right.
Doesn't look like we're able to add a new subscriber with a future date. Is this only in the testing? Tried 5.1 and it wouldn't take it.
That is
should
correct.
wait.
5.1 you can do, not 6.1.
I think you can do 5.1. Here, just a minute. I'm going to walk through that. Okay, we'll try it and see what you're doing. Okay, so Sarah, I don't know if Jean's still on the line. She said she had to go, but it looks like Sarah's in there. I wonder if it's because it has the DOC with capitals.
Probably.
It will not allow me to add her. Oh, so she's trying to add admin for her. Oh, she's, you know why? She's in Northwest region because I just picked up anything. So, okay, I don't know if Jean's there. I don't think she's there. I'll go ahead and just take a screenshot of this so she knows, like, maybe I need to change. Maybe that's what I need to do. She's in Southwest Region 3, right? So what I'll do is I'm just going to give her another one so she has more than one. Department of Corrections, and we can let Jean know later. Southwest Region. Well, where is it? I know it's here somewhere.
There's
Right
7.
here.
There's 7.
Right there. So we'll go ahead and save this one. And what I will do on this one is remove the access because she doesn't really need this one. It doesn't sound like. So we'll try that.
I wonder if the email address, because it has uppercase in there, is an issue.
I don't know. She was in the wrong one. She was in Northwest, and Jean didn't have the ability to give her access to
Gotcha.
Northwest. So she wouldn't be in the same one. But maybe we'll see, Blair. That's a good point too. We'll have to find out. We'll have to check up with her. Doesn't look like we're able to add. Oh, that's a subscriber thing. Okay, so I'm in the wrong one. I want to go back to the BA level because I'm in the one that we can do everything because we're on the admin side, and I don't want to be there. I want to be where you guys are on the BA side. So I'm going to go log in. Just bear with me.
Because you added one that's 5.1 already.
That's what I want to show her and see.
But
if
what
we
happens
can
is that there was no wizard because it's not 5.1 yet.
Yeah, but I don't know where she's getting stuck. So this is where it's hard because we sure would like to get this. Like, this is where we'd like to hear from her, but it's got to be like, we don't have a whole bunch of things hanging out there for questions, so we could still like work with her. She just has to type it in. Okay, so we're gonna get back in. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to my state, just like all of you. Is Tish state?
Nope, higher ed.
Higher ed, just for the fun of it, right? So I'm gonna go to Skagit Valley College. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to add a subscriber, right? And I will just put in some kind of there's, and then you're saying date of eligibility, 5/1. It should let you because you can put somebody in 1 month ahead, right? For eligibility, 1 month ahead, Lair?
Yes.
Okay,
So you can do right now, if the invoice isn't ran yet, you can do 5/1, you can't do 6/1 until the invoice is ran.
right. So we'll hit next, and it does allow me to. So I'm gonna just say test employee. And then female, newly eligible.
Yeah. did
Yes,
you get that
ignore the
message in Scott?
comment. Ignore the comment. So here, that message, Tish, is the when you're talking about it where it was like the outside the lower limit. It's right now, we're just saying, it's supposed to error out. It's more like, hey, is that date good? You're within the lower limit, right? To me, if you're outside the lower limit, it's not going to let you key it anyway. So you're fine. And if that was what you were thinking, then you're good, right? You should be good on all this. And so you're higher ed and you guys do your own. So this would be, yes, they're eligible for this. I'm going to put a 0 here and then 05. I do want to show you one more thing though. It's just for fun to finish that up for you. High Street. And then we're going to say that your employee has the same mailing address. And we're going to hit
5/20
submit.
work because this invoice hasn't run for 6/1 yet. So you can't use 5/20 because invoices haven't ran yet. Once invoices ran, you'll be able to enroll for a 6/1 start date.
Thanks, Lair. So here's that employee. Go here, but here's what's going to be interesting, right? So you got him in the system on 4/26 with eligibility 5/1. There's no wizard here, okay? Just know that the wizard won't show up until they are eligible, which is 5/1. So that's another thing that you can know. And I think Larry just asked, how far ahead can we enter someone? I think he just said based on the invoicing. Larry, is there a schedule somewhere that people would know that? Like, is there an
Yep.
invoicing schedule?
Absolutely.
Can you walk me through it so she at least knows where it's at? Do you know where it's at on the website? Oh, see, she's saying where. So if we go to the PEBB website, right? And your state, well, it's going to be under resources, right? Like administrative.
Probably resources. Yeah. They move
Administrative
stuff around,
tools.
so
Yeah. So
I look there. Yeah.
So we'll say administrative training and resources. And then I know it's gonna, let's just see. Okay, so.
Try to pay one maybe.
Oh, okay, right. Pay one insurance
Mhm.
system.
Yeah. If you go down a little bit, invoices schedule, state share.
Right here.
Yeah.
State share and invoicing schedule. So hopefully Tissue saw that. So
Yeah.
what are the cutoff dates right here?
See the nope, not that one. See
Invoicing.
all types, yeah.
All employer types. Okay,
Yep.
for invoicing. There you go.
So
Does-
I think they're cycle 2.
Is there cycle
Really higher.
2? So for
Yeah.
cycle 2, they could go out as far as what, May 26th?
So on after the night tomorrow, you'll be able to enroll on June 1st. After tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I mean after today.
Oh, April 26th. I see what you're saying. So April 26th, anything after April 26th, she could do for May. And then on May 26th,
Nope. After
She could
April
do for
26th, you
June.
get to June.
oh, she could actually do June. I
Yeah,
see. Okay.
After April 26th.
Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Perfect. Okay. She says, yes, that makes sense. That's when state share runs, correct? Yes.
Michelle's different.
Yeah.
Miss State Share, she's L&I, I believe. So I guess that's different. Their state share is different dates.
Right. State share cutoffs. And here's one thing to tell everybody, right? That we're not sure how that's all going to work
Yeah,
just
okay.
yet, right?
Yep.
There will be some new guidance once the system goes live about like when you can and can't key. And it might be better than what it is today, right, Larry? Potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah, we can't be certain. We can't say, but there's been some conversations about that. She's saying the invoicing.
I think it's an old one. She said she was good.
Okay. Okay.
It was 73.
She said she got it. Yeah, she got it. Okay, cool. Okay, so do we have any more questions? We're going to be able to give you guys about 35 minutes of your time. And again, we apologize that we weren't able to get in deep on some of the other ones. Just probably safer to keep it that way for now until we can have the training ourselves to come out and provide that for you. So thank you, everybody. And we look forward to working with you in the future next week. And the videos should be getting posted anytime on the next 3 or 4 that are coming out. So just be looking for them.
Thank you,
Okay.
everyone. Enjoy
Bye.
the sun.
Thank you.